Unemployment or underemployment can be detrimental to a person's emotional and physical health, and many people are defined by their work. So when they're suddenly not working, it can cause stress levels to just skyrocket, and it also can cause depression and low self-esteem, which all most certainly impact all of our relationships. And so how do you save your sanity and your relationship? Well, these ladies have the answer. I want to welcome Anna Loisel. Welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
And you actually are the founder of the New Mexico Relationship Center.
That's right.
So you know how to speak about this topic, and we're looking forward to some answers. And we also are very happy to have Leslie Carlton, relationship coach at the New Mexico Relationship Center. Great to have you as well, Leslie.
Thanks. Great to be here.
This is a topic, especially now with all the talk in our economy and everything that's going on, this is a talk that partners need to have. And you are here to kind of enlighten us a little bit. This is what I want to talk about. From a mental health and well-being viewpoint, this is what we need to know, okay? Unemployment is right up there right now with divorce and death. It's a very, very tough topic to talk about, but it's a reality, and so it requires a lot of coping skills.
Yep.
So Anna, can you enlighten us a little bit? Give us about the top 3 coping skills we need to start working through in order to, to deal with our relationships when we find ourselves unemployed, and whether either one or the other in a partnership.
Right. The first thing is that you want to just grieve the fact that you have lost your job, or whether it's because of unemployment, or because unemployment, or because you've been fired, or because you've been laid off, or it could be by choice too, but you want to grieve that. You want to it's okay to be anxious about it. It's okay to be angry about it, for sure. So that's the first step you want to do.
Interesting. It's interesting because I said it's kind of like death, and it's the same kind of process, huh,
It really
Leslie?
is. It really is. It's a loss. And so one of the things we don't always allow for ourselves is enough time to acknowledge the loss before trying to move on. We're Americans. Let's get going. Let's jump on it.
We have to be tough.
Yeah, we have to be tough.
That's a great point, though. Okay, so that would be your first thing, is grieve. What would be the second?
The second is to experiment with it as a challenge in life and an opportunity for personal growth.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's important that, the way you relate to it is really important. If you see it as something that's really negative, then it's going to be harder to go forward and do the things that you need to do.
It's kind of like a mindset, right? You kind of have to switch your mind into a different way of thinking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of correlation between depression and unemployment and actually hospital admission mental health.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. So you really got to be, you got to be careful.
That's so disappointing, but it's the fact.
Yeah. So, and then the third one is get the support that you need. Talk to friends, talk to family. You really want to make sure, though, that you talk to people who are going to be supportive.
Right, of course.
Yeah, you don't want to talk to...
You don't want the devil's advocate all the time.
No. Yeah, someone who can't be there and be kind about it and gentle. And
good point.
And talk to people who have been through unemployment and have done it successfully. That's really important. And then get outside help. I mean, I know that sounds like, great, I don't have any money right now, but it's important. I mean, if you're finding yourself really depressed.
Well, when you say that people are admitting themselves into hospitals because of their mental health situation, then in itself, that explains why this would be a worthy investment.
Right.
And Leslie, I want to ask you this, okay? If the unemployed person has a partner who is either working and they're unemployed, or vice versa, what is the first conversation that needs to be had between these two people so that they can establish that support?
I think the most important thing for the partner of a newly unemployed person is to actually allow that person their feelings. Like we were talking about the grief and loss earlier, is to sit down and say, are you okay? How's it going? Right. And when if as partner maybe you hear some self-beating up, you get that big stick out and start saying, well, it must have been me, I must have done something wrong.
Right.
Just to really let them know that it's not personal. It almost never is. A company's downsizing because they need to save money. They close an office off. It wasn't because you were anything bad, honey. It's not personal.
You just need that comforting.
Just really support, and like the second and third conversations might be, what do we do about budget and all that. that. But the
Right.
first one is to really, really connect with your partner again and know that they're going through something really, really hard.
That's great advice. And, you know, I think a lot of times when we look at the relationships between different genders, of course, you know, you have the male point of view often looking right away for a fix and a solution, and a woman just sometimes just needs to vent and get that support. So I think that's a really worthy piece of advice, especially for men who might think, let's get a solution right away.
Yeah.
But not necessarily, not right away.
Not right
Maybe
away.
in step 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Now, the lifestyle adjustment can obviously be very tough on both partners. It's not just one or the other. And the biggest adjustment obviously is going to be less money, less income for the family.
Yeah.
So what do you tell the one income families?
Well, the obvious things, you know, right? Let's get a budget. If you need to downsize housing, you know, do that. You want to start getting into strategies and actions. That's
Okay.
really important. So once you've grieved and are in that kind of anger process, the next thing is to go, okay, what's the best possible outcome? And you want to shift to action.
Okay.
So, but you want to make sure that you're managing your money. I mean, that's really important because that's going to add a lot more stress if you don't, right?
And it's the most obvious loss in
right.
short and long term. So now if unemployment becomes long term, then, you know, let's say 6 months or longer, then what's going to happen? Are there some strategies that a couple needs to consider in order to maybe alleviate some of the stress on the entire household? I mean, I would imagine that includes kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be when you really do want to have a family meeting if there are kids old enough to be involved in
Good
it.
idea.
About, you know, so now this is no longer a temporary transitional experience. This is maybe going to take a little bit longer. And we may have to take a harder look at lifestyle changes. That maybe it's a 2-car family and now you may have to look at, you know, getting rid of 1 car payment or selling the car. Maybe you look at what other things in the family we're willing to let go of in order to keep the, it starts to be a long-term prioritization and really looking at deeper strategies for financial management.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and this is obviously a really good starting point. So let's talk a little bit really quickly about the services you offer and how people can reach you.
Sure. The New Mexico Relationship Center provides a wide range of services for singles and couples, and to get them supported through emotionally challenging times. So they can get to us through the website, which is www.nmrelationshipcenter.com.
And that's on the screen right now.
Great. And or you can call us at 872-8743, and just call us.
In a communication class.
And yeah, one of the things we offer is a communications class that meets weekly, and you can enroll in it a month at a time and really get some great abilities to discuss hard conversations.
I love that idea.
Because if the couple was already having problems before unemployment, then it's going to even be tougher. So getting the support that they need through the communication class is fantastic, and it's affordable. So that's the nice thing.
That's very, very helpful. Thank you both. Leslie, Anna, I appreciate you being here and really shedding some light on a very important topic. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll come back with more advice. And coming up, we're going to tell you about an organization that empowers young ladies. That's a good one.